What up, Frage?
What's happening, brother? Gotta do the old
click, clack, knock it back.
Get it.
Another Sunday, huh?
No, man. What is it? Sunday, March 25th. Yep. Sunday, March 25th. Gotta make sure to write that down too. So we hit on a bunch of things today. We got a Goodfellas story with a toothbrush involved.
Toothbrushes are supposed to be clean, but they're not clean.
Toothbrushes are designed to go in a certain orifice. Not everyone. We got gonna hit on some Facebook action. That's what's happening this week. And
respect.
Yeah, talk about some old school shit, man. Talk about some old school shit that's just gone aside, man. You want to start it off or?
No, go ahead.
All right. Well, I ran into this. She was in her 80s. Let me think. South Sac. Ran into this old lady, and we're talking about business, what's happening, going on in the world today.
How'd you meet this lady?
It was at a job. I was at a job, and
okay.
For my job, I go to different people's houses all day long, so I meet all kinds of people, rich people, poor people.
I got you.
Every race, every ethnicity you can think of, but she's older, obviously owns her home. Bomber.
Yeah, that kid.
It was like on that day, so that's something else we should hit on. Is probably the bombers, dude. They're getting crazy, but this lady, she tells me, and I've never heard this before, but she says, what's wrong with today is we don't have as many ladies excuse me, as we used to. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, well, when I was growing up, we had a bunch of ladies. Then you had a little bit of women, and then you had a very small percentage of bitches.
So break down the difference between ladies and women.
Okay, so the way she's told me, because it's not my perspective, but I honestly believe what she's saying now, because, I do want to listen. I want to learn. But she said, a lady handles her stuff. She has her job together. She handles her man. And that's what a lady really does behind closed doors. If you're married, your old lady runs the house. She runs the show.
Oh, yeah. You have to give her credit because she does everything.
They really do. They make all the ends meet, and they just don't get enough props, and
absolutely not enough props. I mean, my wife picks up, takes my kids to school, takes them to practices when I can't get there. She makes dinner. She gets up in the morning, makes me breakfast every day. She cleans the house. She makes
you breakfast every day, dude?
Every single day.
What?
She makes me breakfast.
This is going on my list. This is going on my list of things.
And so I get up at 4 every morning to go to work. She don't have to get up till way later, but she gets up at 4 with me every single day, makes me breakfast, makes my lunch, and I give her a kiss goodbye, and I go to work. That's my everyday routine, and it's every single day.
So if she don't make breakfast, do you hit her?
No, I've choked her. I don't want to leave physical bruises. I'm not stupid.
You don't want to leave any evidence.
I trip her. We were actually real quick, and we were watching a movie on TV, and there was a lady that was in a wheelchair, and then she got healed, and she was able to walk. But she had a boyfriend, and the boyfriend was saying, even if you were in the wheelchair, I would still wheel you around the rest of your life because I love you that much. And I said, I would do the same thing for Sarah, but when she starts running her mouth, I'd probably put her in a corner and lock her wheels for a little while.
You'd pay for that, dude.
No, I wouldn't do that. But go ahead, ladies.
No, I mess around with my lady too. I love her. That's why I married her twice, because she's so awesome. But those man, she handles shit, our family functions, all that kind of stuff. She brings it together.
Hey, your life is not good or happy.
No, a lot of people, they get it right on the first time, but I want to say that's probably 5% of people, man. I mean, I thought about this too. You're married, right? I got a buddy that's good-looking guy, good job, funny. I don't know how he acts with women.
Frage. You're talking about me?
No. I'm not talking about three-way either, because three-way is a good-looking guy, got a good job, all that kind of stuff too, but he's never been married, man.
Yeah, but he's bi.
But this guy, his parents divorced when he was like 14 or 15. He just never got over it, man. He never turned the page on, Hey, all right, my mom and dad weren't good for each other. But some people do, man. Look at my neighbor over here, Ernie, man. Fucking 47 years they've been married, and he'll tell you every one of them was happy, and they were made to be together. And I'm sure if you've been together that long, yeah.
Do you think that it's better now to wait till you're a little bit older? I mean, how years ago it was 100 years ago, it was like 15, 16 years old. Then we were kids, it was like 18, 19. And now I think people are waiting until their 30s. Because I didn't really get together with my wife till we were about 30 years old. And we already had our personalities, who we were. So there was not really, we didn't grow apart. When you're young, you start, you change from 18 to 30.
Yes.
Then you grow apart. But we were who we were at that age. So, we get along great.
Well, this is, they have prenuptial agreements. They have, alimony. They have all these rules around marriage. If it goes right or if it goes bad, they have all these rules about it, right? Mm-hmm. But I honestly think just like you got to be 21 to buy a beer, you got to be 18 to serve in the military. They got rules on age. I think one of the age restrictions, maybe just in California or maybe United States, and I know it's out of the box thinking, but maybe you should wait to be 30. Because I think by 30, you've already amassed your knowledge you're going to get through school and stuff like that. You probably got a job.
I think that's good advice. I don't think you can regulate it. You don't want government to regulate, when you get married to somebody.
Look, I got married at 18. You're an adult. You can get married at 18. I did, I had a baby and all that stuff too. But if there was a rule in place where you could still have babies at 18 or 20 or whatever.
You just can't get married.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think the divorce rate would be fucking really low then. And that goes back to this too, where I was talking about the old lady with, she's saying there's ladies, mm-hmm. there's women, and there's bitches, right? And this is an 80-year-old lady telling me this, and she's cool, man, just cool as a day. She was just talking to me normal shit,
I got you.
Because a lady would handle shit. She'd have her emotions and stuff like that, but she wouldn't show anything to her old man. She might cry when he's away or, when she had her own quiet time, but she would never break. A lady won't let you know she has any weakness, She just got to be hard like that. And a lot of the old school ones were, man. They handed out the discipline, And then if they didn't fuck you up enough, they'd be like, wait till your dad gets home.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, shit.
Pretend you're sleeping when he gets home.
Or you pretend when she spanks your ass that it really hurt really bad.
You would have to get it a second time.
Yeah. And then what she's saying is, okay, so there's all these ladies. They dressed nice. They did their hair. Every time they went to the store, it was like an ordeal. If you went to the movies or anything, these ladies made themselves look proper and presentable to the world. Where now you have chicks that wake up, throw on some flip-flops, a pair of sweats, and just throw their hair in a bun and go out in public. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not even going to comment on that.
Yeah, So this is a fucking great one, man. So Kayla's about, I don't know, 8 years old, and we go out to eat. Or the way I used to do it is I wake up early Saturday morning. Whatever kid was awake, I would take them with me, because if you got 6 kids, right?
Okay, I got you.
It's expensive.
But you're hoping they're all sleeping.
You're hoping they're all sleeping. But I would go have the same breakfast, every Saturday morning if I was going fishing or whatever. I just had a routine down, and the kids knew it. So sometimes they would be like, Dad, I'm going to bed early so I can wake up and go to breakfast with you. So Kayla wakes up. She's like, I'm going to breakfast with you. So we go out to breakfast. I said, Kayla, you need to comb your hair. She's like, Dad, come on, it's early, this, that. And I'm like, Kayla, you're a little lady. You need to comb your hair. And I'm not a good hair doer for girls. I don't even comb my own hair. You know what I mean? But when the girls are little, dads got to comb their hair sometimes.
Okay.
So I kept busting her balls about it on the way, to get breakfast. And she's like, whatever. And I said, okay. So when the waitress came around the corner, I think the kids were getting those little gummy things, or gumballs out of the gumball machine.
Right.
I had the waitress write out a bad hair day ticket for Kayla and charge her like $5 for having bad hair day. And so when Kayla came back and the waitress came and gave me the things, she looked at it like, holy fuck. My dad was right. He was right. I do have bad hair day. I got a fucking ticket today. I'm like, how are you going to pay it? She's like, I don't know. I don't have a parent.
But I think I'm a hypocrite when it comes to that. I hear what you're saying, but I also raised my daughter to be independent of a man, to be like a strong woman, to not need anybody, and I to just be her own person, not necessarily a woman, but be a person. You know, her mom's job is not a job, but her mom has taught her how to be a lady. She's the one who talks to her about when she gets her nails done and how when they go do their hair together and stuff like that. But I've taught my daughter to be independent of a man.
No, you should, because, and that's what I told my girls. Don't think about marrying rich or getting a really hot guy or that kind of shit. Think about taking care of yourself. Think about buying your own house. Because you know what? If you're that kind of woman, you got your own house.
Self-sufficient.
Yeah, you got your own car. You're doing your own thing. When you do meet a man and he's got the same shit going on, you just doubled up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And when you have kids, and then you have a good structure for your kids, you know.
But you know, getting back to that, this lady, I talked to her for probably about 20 minutes, you know, and she just coached me on life. And I like listening to those old folks, man, because they already been there, done that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when she talks about her kids are in their 50s and 60s now, and they're still fucking up. You know, they're leaving their washer and their dryer at her house. One of her girls had her fucking car wrecked and had it towed to her mom's house, and it's sitting in her mom's driveway, you know. She's like, I'm 80 years old. What am I going to do with this wrecked car in front of my house, you know? So then her other group of thing was there's a bunch of women out there, and they're just doing their thing, and they're handling business, but they don't really give a fuck as to how they present themselves.
I'm scared as fuck.
Sarah got him roped.
Oh, I'm scared as fuck. Fuck you. I said something last time about driving. Fuck. I almost didn't get breakfast one morning.
Hey, we bust balls on guys all the time, man. It's been there, man. And you know,
well, I hear what you're saying, but you know, a lot of people will say, well, this generation and this generation's terrible, but it's not the generation, it's the parents. It's the parents, because your kids are only going to behave however you raise them. That's it. And you have more to compete with. You have to compete with the internet. You have to compete with social media. You have to compete with all that stuff now. So it's not as easy as it was when we were kids. I granted, you have to spend a lot more energy, because you now have to regulate what they watch and what they see, because everything's so accessible now. So it's a lot harder, but it does come back to parenting. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
Me and you. Everything's parenting. Whether it's, you know, like we talk about mass shootings, whatever it is, disrespect. It's all parenting. So we can't blame. I always hear people say, you know, this fucking new generation. It's not the generation, because they're only going to behave how we raise them.
The thing is, these people that are complaining about this new generation, it's their kids. They're the ones that raise these kids. I believe
so.
They're the ones that raise these kids that are doing this, and they're complaining about it.
I mean, sometimes you just got to be an asshole parent. And I'm the asshole parent all the time, dude.
One of my favorite lines is, hey, I'm not here to be your friend. It's cool when we are friends. I'm here to be your parent. You know what I mean? That's my line right there.
I always thought, yeah, I agree. And I always thought, like, when my daughter got, you know, to college and stuff, we'd have it like, we do have a different relationship, but I'm still the parent. I'm still like, yeah, you can't fucking do that.
If you cross that line, man, like, you know, you smoke weed with your parents, you party with your parents, you do that kind of shit when they're kids, they got no fucking respect for you.
No, man. I don't think you should do that at all. Like, I just had my daughter's 21 now, so when she turned 21, we went out to eat and she bought herself a drink. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I don't sit at home and get drunk with my daughter, but we went out to dinner recently and she got a glass of wine with my wife because she's 21 now, and I don't see nothing wrong with that.
No. Well, she's an adult.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I'm not talking about adults, because I partied with my kids, you know. I smoked back in the day, did that shit with my kids and stuff.
Okay, I got you.
But I'm talking like, you're 15, 16-year-old kid. You shouldn't be kicking back doing fucking meth with your parents, or, you know.
You shouldn't be doing meth anyway.
You know, I don't know about that. I've done meth. You know.
No, I'm not saying that you people haven't done it. I've never done it, but you should.
I've done a lot of drugs.
You shouldn't do it anyways. Meth is bad, kids. Don't do meth.
Yeah. There's probably not a lot of kids watching this video, and a lot of these people on here know the fucking.
But we joke around at the house all the time when Sarah my wife starts getting all irritated. I was like, oh, let's check on your mom. She's tweaking. She's out of control. She's tweaking. So my little boy's always like, Mom, you on crank? And, you know, neither of us have ever even done crank. But We always tell them, don't go to school and say
You never
that shit.
did crank?
I've never done anything, but I've smoked weed. I've never tried anything else. Never.
Oh, wow.
Maybe because it was so accessible and around me, and I seen family members doing it. And friends of ours were tweaked out, and I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. Man, I was always scared. I never wanted to do it.
I did it all for a minute, you know. When I had Kayla,
and I'm not dogging anybody for doing it. Fuck, I mean, it's part of growing up. People do shit, but I just never have.
No, I remember, dude. Fucking JT and CT showed up at my house. Like, say no to drugs. If you do drugs like that, you're gonna fucking die, or your teeth are gonna fall out, or you're gonna fucking, you know, go start robbing people and all that kind of shit.
Well, you do rob people.
Yeah, but fucking
my roommate. I mean, one of our good friends. He was a roommate of mine. He started getting, you know who you are, my brother. I mean, he would come in the living room and then go into his bedroom and his bathroom, and the window in his bathroom was probably this big, and all of a sudden come back in the front door. It's like, how the fuck did you? He crawled out that window. And then one day I seen him sleeping. Well, he wasn't sleeping. He was laying flat in his El Camino. I walked up to the house. I'm like, hey, what's up, man?
Waiting, knocking out his car, dude.
I said, people are driving by. I'm going to get them. I was like, oh, fuck. This is nuts. But we love you, brother.
Hey, there's a good example, though. You know, a tree don't fall, or the fruit don't fall far from the tree, man. You do what you see. Like, you see it happening with your parents and shit.
Well, you
like
can go
that.
either way.
Yeah,
you know? You could be scared. Like, I was scared. I seen people in my family doing it. I was like, I ain't gonna fucking
that's my whole story right there. Is I've chose to go the other way. Like there was a point in time where at my current job, I had the freaking weed card, right? So I smoked weed from like 1996 when it came into being legal here in California for medical use until 2012. And actually, me and my second and my third wife, who were the same person, she wanted to leave me because I smoked weed so much, like I was addicted to weed or whatever. And I was like, well, go ahead, leave, because I loved smoking weed, and I should have known then it was an issue. But when my job said, hey, we don't recognize that weed card anymore, then I was like, oh fuck, I gotta quit smoking weed because I can't lose this fucking job, dude.
Divine intervention.
That's it, man.
I mean, because that happens for a reason.
Choices, man.
Choices, but also somebody put something in your way to make you make a decision, and it actually bettered your life. I think it probably bettered your life, right?
Department of Transportation. I don't know, man, because when I was smoking weed, not only that, I was growing, and I was in the co-op, you know.
I'm talking about not financially. I'm talking about spiritually, and the way you're living right now seems you're living a good life right now.
No, I got a good life, but I would rather smoke weed because, like, now I have a pain pill I take for my shoulders jacked up. I have a sleeping pill to take,
I hear you.
And I have a fucking muscle relax because I'll get like spasms for like 3 or 4 like 3 or 4 hours, man. And you know, when I used to smoke weed, that shit it'd be gone in like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
dude.
no, I hear you about that part. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
I think weed is way better medicinal purpose than any of these pharmaceuticals.
I don't think anybody who smokes weed or has tried to smoke weed would even argue that it's not better. I mean, everybody knows, except for the people, 90-year-old fucking lawmakers who have no idea what
the reefer madness was. But I will tell you this, true. This is honest, got a true story, man. When I did get my medical card, I hadn't smoked weed, so I didn't know. So when I did smoke it, I got hella high. I got paranoid. My breathing was flush. I thought I was going to fucking die. So I called my doctor because, you know, back then it was underground too. I mean, you had to know a doctor to get a medical prescription. So I called him and he's like, man, you're just high. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want this. I don't want, you know, this doesn't feel cool or whatever. And he's like, hey, just keep smoking every day. And I'm like, I don't ever want to smoke again, you know, but it took about a week. Your mind's not there. When I'm loaded, man, I could sit down, read a book. I could freaking do the yard work. You know, you're still coherent. You can still do shit, man. You know?
That's trippy.
Do that last week. No, man, but it just goes to tell you it's the truth, you know, straight up, man.
So what? We're done with the respect to people, or
no, man? Because there's still the something I want to get to about that inside voice, man. And I think a lot of kids nowadays, even a lot of grown-ups, don't use that inside voice. You know, That's part of respect too. Like, good example. I open up a fucking door for a lady, right? At work. I'm at work, open the door and hold it for her, and she doesn't say thank you, doesn't say anything, just walks right by you, fucking nullified. Like,
this is what we were talking about earlier. People are so self-involved. They don't even realize other people are on this earth.
And that's respect too, man. Like, hey, good morning, how you doing? And there was like, the fuck you saying good morning to me for?
Watch, my little boy opens the door for everybody all the time. That's one thing we make sure he does. Open the door for people. Run. Go ahead to those old people. Run, open the door. And if he's sitting, we're at a restaurant waiting. If you see somebody older standing up, you get up and you let them sit down.
Hey, Corn Dog told me a good story about this the other day, man. He's in the G here getting his hair cut, right? Mm-hmm. He walks in there, seats all, there's nowhere to sit. Somebody gets up, he finally gets a seat. He's sitting there. Mind you, Corn Dog's probably like 47, 48 years old. Old 72, 75-year-old man walks in. There's no place to sit. So he gets up and he's like, hey, sir, would you like to have my seat? He's like, oh, thank you. But everybody else around there is looking at him like, what the fuck did you give your seat up for?
We go out to eat 2 times, twice a week, maybe, on Thursday and a Saturday, and watching people or watching them have their kids just sitting there playing video games and some old man, old lady standing up, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I wouldn't sit down. I mean, my kids better not fucking sit. They stand up and make sure if there's no seating, unless they're seating, they'll get up and, ma'am, do you want to sit down? Like, and my little boy's 11, so they already know better. But I'm watching other parents, and they're like oblivious to what's going on. Their kids are laying on the thing, playing around, playing video games. Or even when we go to the baseball game, or my kid's baseball game, I mean, kids are running in front of us, stomping around, and you're trying to, and you don't notice your kid doing this shit, like. And that kid's going to get older, and that's where the disrespect comes in as adults, or the self-involvement. I think we cater to these kids so much. These kids are so self-involved. Like we go to we see people around that we deal with, and kids sports and stuff, and they act like they've never seen you before. Like they're so. And maybe they in their head they don't even recognize you because they're so in their own head. Like,
but the week before they had a 20-minute conversation with you about fucking
about their kids,
Black Lives Matter or Facebook or something.
Well, not about that, about the kids.
Well, I'm just throwing something.
Yeah, these people are so self-involved. This is, I always tell my kids, be the first one to say hello to somebody. Say hi. Acknowledge people. I mean, that's why we're here, to make this world a better place. And if we're so self-involved, we can't do that.
My lady tells me a good story about she was pregnant in the city, Bay Area, and she had to ride the BART, job to job. She was working 2 jobs, pregnant, and she had a seat, and this old man comes in. It's like same thing. She looks around. There's all these kids, punk kids, little skater kids and shit in the BART fucking around. This old man standing there, and they're waiting. So she gets up, and she's pregnant, tries to give this old man a seat. And he's like, no, ma'am, no, I appreciate the offer. But so she busts out. Any one of these kids right here, could stand up and give their seat away. And they look at her like, you dumb bitch, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
there's no common courtesy, man. It's not there.
It's not taught.
And I went over this with Tito the other night, man. Is of the sweet land of remember you used to sing that shit?
Finish it off. It's beautiful. Yeah. Your voice is
I know,
like an angel.
Like an angel, I got it.
Meanwhile, we're throwing pencils up, trying to stick them in the ceiling.
But we would do that, and then we'd do the Pledge of Allegiance, man. And then we would start our class day. Mm-hmm. So that structure that used to kind of get you into like listening and behaving, they give you something that you repeat and you do. It's a process you do every day, right? Mm-hmm. And these kids we're used to that shit. And then we're ready to listen, right? It's the same thing Cesar Millan does with dogs. I don't know if you ever watched a dog whisperer.
I've watched a dog whisperer, yeah.
But anytime you go to somebody's house, the dog's fucking around, jumping up and down, doing all this crazy shit, barking or whatever. Cesar has a process. He fucking takes the dog out for a walk, gets him tired to where the dog don't give a fuck no more. And then he's like, okay, I'll listen to whatever you got to do, whatever you want me to do, Cesar. It was the same way in school, man. And they don't have that in school now. I don't even think they do the Pledge of Allegiance now in school.
I'm not sure. I'll ask my son. I'm not sure if they do or not. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at, I think they should do more of that. I think it should be still enforced in the schools.
They took God out of schools, man. And that's and I don't care what God you have. You call him God,
Yeah. Yeah, there's a God there for a reason to, and like I tell my kids that, you know, even if we're not around, God's still watching. So you have to be righteous all the time. Now, you know, we're imperfect. We do stuff, we swear, we drink, whatever. We're not perfect, whatever. But I mean, as far as being, you know, we were talking on the phone and we're like, and it's like, to break religion down to its basic form, it's treat people how you want to be treated.
Love thy neighbor.
That's love thy neighbor. That's the basic form of religion. That's the basic form of being a good Christian, is treat people how you want to be treated.
You know, and it's not just Christian, man. I mean, look at all.
No, not Christian. I shouldn't say that. It's
the golden rule. That's
it's the golden rule. Yeah, because
rule.
I don't want to. We'll get into religion another time. So, but I don't. I'm not.
It's coming up close. Easter Sunday next week.
Yep. We can do. We're gonna do some religion, and we're gonna do some alien sightings, right?
We're gonna do some UFO action next week. Yeah.
And he's a
against my best interest, but we're gonna have it. We're gonna have a special episode next Sunday.
And this is from firsthand account too.
Yeah, my family, my 3 people in my immediate family and myself had a very, very up and close fucking sighting. It's pretty awesome. But we'll get into that next Sunday, man. Yeah, next Sunday.
I'm excited.
But I wanted to cover that common courtesy stuff, man, because if you do it, then maybe somebody else goes, oh yeah, fuck, I remember I should do that. Open the door for an old lady, or give up my seat, for a pregnant lady or something like that.
Be an example.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely be an example. On whatever you believe, be an example. That's why I'm not real big on preaching all the time as far as, religion or something. But I just say, be an example, and maybe the people around you will say, hey, what do you believe? Because you're such a good example. Let me know what you believe, or what you, and maybe they'll follow.
Yeah. Yeah, just like my wife, I've known about this shit for, I don't know, probably 6-7 years now, but there's a series on YouTube called Spirit Science.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's something different. If you're looking for something different, check it out. Spirit Science. It's not Scientology. It's not.
I've been watching. This Scientology has a new TV channel. Have you been watching it? I fell asleep and I had the remote control, and Sarah couldn't change it. She was like, "What the fuck are you watching?"
And
no, I haven't seen it.
What's it? Joaquin Phoenix in it?
Nuh-uh.
Okay, so that movie, The Master, is about the dude L. Ron Hubbard.
Is it?
Dude, motherfucker was a pimp, dude. L. Ron Hubbard, he's a beast, dude. I mean,
you have to be to get that many people to follow what you're or believe what you're fucking selling.
Or you put the truth out there with your own spin on it. You can't fucking avoid the truth. The truth is the truth, man.
Did you watch the Leah Remini? We were glued to that. We followed every single show of that. And go ahead.
I was going to say, I got a couple friends that are Scientologists at work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. And so the way you go up in Scientology is because of your contribution levels and how much, and they kick down 20%.
That's
dude.
Crazy.
After tax, 20% after tax.
Nope.
So I was talking to this one individual. I won't give sex, gender, or whatever, but they were telling me that they've reached a level of enlightenment where now they can communicate with plants and animals.
Because they gave enough money?
That's what's up, man. There's different stages. Have you ever heard Leah Remini talk about being in, the core 8 group?
Oh, no, yeah. No, we watched every single minute of that series, that show, yeah. And so I kind of got a good understanding of what they got, what's involved in it. But anything that you have to fucking give all your money away to is like, it sounds fucking shady. I don't know, dude. Like, I'm not really
I see it. I've been there, man. I was really involved in the church, and it started that's the only thing that's made me get where I'm at is my belief in God. And having lived with 6 different families, I learned 5 different religions.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you, Debbie and Wayne, they gave me my first Bible, my own Bible, like in 85 or 86.
I remember your Bible.
Yeah, I still got that joker, and I've read it, I don't know, probably at least 4 times, front to cover, even all the shit in Deuteronomy and Exodus, where they've got the dudes Amshat, Begat, Islam, all the different followings. And I always wonder why they put that in the Bible, but it was in there, so I figured I had to read it. But Debbie and Wayne, dude, I give them a big part of my life and my spirituality towards them. And then I don't know if you know, man, that's the way I was. I was Bible Answer Man, Catholic Radio 1380, all that shit, dude, all day long until this the sighting. And after the sighting, man, I lost my religion.
Really?
Dude.
Because I think you can still definitely be Christian or have faith in God and still believe in aliens. Let's not get into aliens. I don't want to start. Once we start talking about it, it's going to go on and on and on.
I know. I want to say I'll just simply say this, though,
and I don't want to repeat myself next weekend.
It's people confuse what I say a lot of times because they think I'm not a Christian anymore, that I don't believe in God, and that's not the instance. Now what I believe in is way bigger than the Christian God. The God I believe in is way bigger now, man. I mean, the God that I'm talking about encompasses all religions, you know.
I think everybody
bust it out, dude.
Man, okay.
There's a couple on the board right there. Which one do you want, man?
Okay, let's go to the house party. Do you want to do the house party one? we're at a house party. We weren't always welcome at all the house parties, mainly because of a couple people, mainly because of one person, Mr. Hyde. Right? So we get to this house party, and it's kind of boring. You know, it's young kids trying to be cool, drinking beer, acting adult, and we're still kids.
Trying to get some ass.
And I think that's what is cool about the fellas is we're still fucking kids. We still group text like we're little kids, and we talk about simple as shit. So we're at this house party. So we bring this dirty magazine to this house party. So me and
porno mag,
a house party. Yeah. So we go in there, we're drinking and doing whatever, trying to act grown up, and we're like, this is fucking boring. This is stupid. So me and Mr. Hyde, we go in the parents' bedroom, the girl's mom's bedroom, right? So he takes off all his clothes. He's completely naked.
Butt naked.
Naked again. And so we find the girl's mom's wig. So he puts on the girl's mom's wig, completely naked, except socks. He always had his socks on because he don't like his feet. And then he's like, tear out some of the pictures of the dirty magazines, the filthiest ones, and tape them to my back. So I said, okay, well, fucking tear them out. We cut them out. We're in this girl's mom's bedroom. And so he's standing there completely naked. And I'm like, almost like I'm dressing him. Right? So
dressing him in pornography.
Pornography. Not like he's already walking out with his dick out already.
Yeah.
And so add to that. Let's add a little flavor to that. A little cherry on top. So I'm taping these fucking nasty pictures to his back with fucking scotch tape. And so I leave him in there. He's like, I'm going to come out in a couple minutes, you know, just act normal. So I'm out there, we get a beer, and everybody's talking and shit. And then the door busts open. And he starts walking around with the beer in his hand, completely naked with these dirty pictures taped to his back. And then to add to that, he thought that wasn't good enough. So he spins around and he's got the girl's toothbrush hanging out of his ass. It's just sticking straight out. This is a girl's toothbrush. That's filthy. I think he even put it back. And after about 15 minutes, people got a chuckle out of it, and then they went back to trying to be cool and shit. And then he just kept standing there drinking beer, talking to people completely naked. Yeah. It wasn't a big deal. That I had enjoyment off that. I don't know why I got it, because it was always so boring with, you know, people young kids trying to act adults and, you know, sit there. Oh yeah, what's going on, man? And then here we come. Mr. Hyde comes in completely naked. That had a little spice to it.
Dude, I have the genesis of Hyde's nakedness, man. I got that story, dude.
How'd it go?
So we were always kicking and we always been friends as fellas and stuff. But once we started driving, man, we had like a routine. Like I'd go around, pick everybody up every morning. You remember that kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
Like I was a school bus driver or something.
Yeah, we ought to pitch in $20 in gas might will be like $10,000.
The fucking beast got like 4 miles a gallon. You know it did. But so this guy, Mr. Hyde's parents go away for the weekend, and he had an older sister and he had a younger sister. Mm-hmm. But the older sister was pissed. She was off doing something with Mr. Hyde being like Jekyll, the way he's supposed to act, and the way he's supposed to be. Yeah. Then he hits the switch and he's Hyde. So we're having this party, and you know, as underclass, I think we were sophomores or something. You got all couple beers. Next thing I know, fucking Hyde's butt naked, sitting next to me in the car. I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna do, dude? He's like, I'm gonna run to the party naked.
And this is the first time he got naked, right?
Yeah, it was the first time, and I was like, dude, you better chub your dick up or something, dude, you know, just to give it some magic.
Yeah.
So instead of just chubbing it up and making it fucking view worthy, this guy gets a full-on boner.
Does he get a boner with just you and him in the car?
Yes, just me and him in the car, dude.
What were you doing? You were like, yeah, that's right.
I'm like, do it.
That looks cool, dude.
Keep going.
Did you help him out?
No,
Get one?
no, you don't have to help this guy out, dude. He can get a boner, no problem, dude. And so he gets out of the car, he starts running around. I fucking cracking my ass off because you hear the people in the party start screaming like the girls, ah! Because a lot of them haven't seen dick before, and now they're seeing a dick fucking running around, fucking bouncing around and shit. And then we lived out in the country, or he lived out in the country, so I see this car coming down the road, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's somebody for the party. No, it's fucking Mr. Hyde's dad and mom. They forgot something. They drove like 2 hours, forgot something they needed for this convention thing they were going to. They drove back to get it. And fucking Mr. Hyde's butt naked. I talked to his dad out on the driveway, like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. I just got here. I don't know what's going on, you know, trying to play the role. And they know fucking, he was already in my ass, like, this is your fucking fault, this and that. So next thing I know, I see fucking White Lightning come running by, dude. It's fucking Mr. Hyde. He's like, I don't know where my clothes are. I said, they're in my car, dude. He goes, no, somebody took them. I said, oh, shit. So being the friend I am, I took my clothes off except my drawers, gave them to Mr. Hyde so he can go talk to his parents. But when his dad sees that he's wearing my clothes, he's not an idiot. He's fucking pissed off. And fucking, I think it was probably 2 weeks later we saw Mr. Hyde because his dad did not play. He was more pissed off.
I remember that party. I remember drinking a beer, and all of a sudden I seen somebody just flash through completely naked run by. I was
White
like,
Nick.
What the fuck was that? Was that? Oh, what the fuck, dude! This guy's naked. That was the first time, and it got so comfortable and so blatant. I remember driving around in his truck, and he had a hot rod, and in the four-way section right there in the middle of the Gulch, he was driving completely naked, and his throttle stuck, and he got into the middle of the intersection, and his throttle stuck, so he had to turn it off. He turned it off, got out of the car. He was driving. Me and B Sweet were in the car. He gets out, and he's in the motor, fixing the throttle, completely naked, in the middle of the intersection, in the middle of the daytime. And we locked the doors. And he's trying to get back in. I mean, can you imagine driving by with your kids and seeing some guy completely naked out there fucking around with the motor?
With a really nice truck, too.
Really nice truck,
This guy's looking out there.
Some socks. The only thing he had on was socks. That reminds me of when me and Mr. Hyde and B Sweet were roommates, and we were all. This is a funny one, man. I mean, maybe it's not funny to some people. It's funny to me. I don't know, because I got like a 7-year-old sense of humor.
Yeah, because when Mr. Hyde does that shit to you, you look how quick you flip the script.
Yeah, I was
like,
pissed. I mean, I was always pissed because I'd be taking a shower and turn around, and he'd be naked trying to get inside the shower while I'm in there. We'd be fighting. He'd be like, dude, stop. Or I'd be asleep, and all of a sudden, this guy jumps on top of you completely naked. You're like, dude. So I'm good. You know, I got to go to work the next day, and I think B Sweet came home, and he thought everybody was sleeping. So he goes and takes a shower. And so Mr. Hyde goes behind the plant, completely naked. Right? So B Sweet gets out of the shower, goes into his room. He thinks, you know, everything's cool. Everybody's asleep. Mr. Hyde pops out of the plant and starts wrestling. And then
butt naked. So
it's chaos. And I was asleep, and all of a sudden I heard boom in the hallway, just bumping into the walls. So I get up, and it turned into like, what the fuck are you doing, to like a real physical fight, like a real, like choking each other out, completely naked.
Goes from being funny to serious.
Yeah, because B Sweet's pissed off because this is bullshit. He just got out of the shower, dude. He's trying to go to bed. So I walk out, and I'm half asleep. So I was just like, what the fuck's going on? Two guys are completely naked wrestling around And B Sweet looks up at me and goes, "Get him off of me." I'm like, "No, it's your turn. I've got it plenty of times." And you know, Mr. Hyde, he gets bloody noses all the time. So he gets a bloody nose all over B Sweet's body. And B Sweet is already like a germaphobe. Yeah. And so, it gets to the point where they're squeezing each other's balls so tight, they're just like fucking just pissed, choking each other, and there's blood all over. It's just a mess, blood on the walls. And then they stand up and they're breathing hard. And they're both completely fucking naked. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Just a normal Tuesday, dude.
Just a normal Tuesday. Yeah, took a day or so. We got back to normal and everything was okay. But, that's the life of a fella.
Yeah.
Shit happens, man.
Yeah. Hey, and just so you know, Hyde don't do drugs.
Nope.
Hyde drinks every now and then.
Barely.
He barely drinks. So this guy got a natural fucking high going on in his own mind. And it really is like he hits the switch. Like he goes from looking like this to that. Did you see that? That's a fucking promo. That's our new sticker. Let me show them what's going on with this.
Those are cool stickers too.
See, we got the G-Town on there. Got those out. I don't know how we're going to get them out, man.
I just start putting them everywhere.
We'll start putting them on shit.
Hey, before we get on another serious topic, though, do you want to tell, because you're the best one to tell this, the Zephyr story?
Oh, the fucking...
He stole E-Rock's parents, Zephyr?
Well, we did the van. We did the Zam Mad one version, but yeah. I remember it was like... we were probably like 15.
Because nobody had a license.
Yeah, we were like 14 or 15.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric is probably the best conscious thinker of all of us. I mean, he's always been like an adult. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's the one. Yeah, always trying to check us.
Yeah, he's always been like the voice of reason. There you go. He's been our voice of reason when we do shit. But we talked him into stealing his mom's car. It was like a 76 white Zephyr with blue interior.
Looked like an old police car or something.
Yeah. So, mind you, we don't know how to fucking drive or nothing. Mm-hmm. So we fucking steal it. Go out to Thornton. It's raining and shit that day. Yeah. I remember we were hitting mud puddles, driving through the fucking vineyards, all kinds of crazy shit. But trying to act like adults. We pull up to Wimpy's. It's a place to eat out there on the river. Just have lunch. Act like we're fucking grown folks and shit.
Adults, yeah.
Yeah. On the way back, we go a different route than we're used to. And we hit a corner. There must have been 2 to 3 feet of water in this corner we were hitting. We end up hydroplaning, going through a fucking field, part of the vineyards, just fucking this car up. And mind you, it's white. So
this mom's work car.
Yeah. She needs it. She needs it to drive every day. We're these stupid fucking. But we get back. We're fucking in the driveway. I see his mom come out. She's ready for. She had like a. What are those?
White. Like a nurse's office.
Yeah, like I forget what they're called. Not fatigue.
She worked at a convalescent home, right?
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, with corn cob sticking out of the grill.
Yeah. Oh, the car was fucked up. Yeah. Yeah. There was another one where we didn't get to see Eric for like a couple of weeks.
Shit happens.
He sorry, Eric. I'm sorry, fucking. I don't know.
If it wasn't for us, he wouldn't have no fun.
Happens.
So you want to clear out fellas stories?
Yeah, that's good. We got a few more on there, but we can hit those later.
Yeah, because I think we're getting to where we got to get one more good, honest, real.
What are we going in on?
Serious story. Serious topic.
Which one are we going to do, man?
I'll let you decide. Something that you're looking forward to talking about.
How about Big Brother, man? That's been out now.
Big Brother, like Facebook Big Brother?
Let me see. There's 4 of them. Facebook, Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. Right?
Yeah.
Guarantee you've used one of those today.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking early in the morning, you've already probably used them a bunch of times. Well, it's out in there now that they're getting mad at the Republicans because Republicans apparently use like 15,000 or 15 million names off of Facebook to help Trump in his campaign. But this ain't the first time it happened. Obama did it in 2012, but he used 500 million And you'll say, well, shit, 500 million, there's only 320 million people in the United States, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Obama was pimp enough, and his group of campaign people were pimp enough to send this shit out to people in Mexico, in Canada, in Russia, all over the world. He was sending out his message. So it blew him up even more, man. I mean, it was a fucking pimp move. And Zuckerberg found out about it and was like, hey, don't worry about it. You may have crossed some policy. We have it here at Facebook, but we're on your side. So everything was legit until what is it, Cambridge or Cambridge?
I haven't really followed it, to be honest with you.
Some Cambridge, you guys know what I'm talking about. Some Cambridge thing did this for Trump.
Analytics?
Cambridge Analytics, yeah. So they did it for Trump this time, this go around. And now it's big blown up, and they're talking about regulating Facebook, regulating search engines and shit. And we went over that before, man, because that's where we got fucked up on the computer. I tried switching the shit from Google to Bing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it won't let me, if I have the Bing search engine, it won't let me download the shit to YouTube. Oh, that's where the fucking cross is happening. So I switched it to Google last night and started doing the fake videos and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking downloading like that.
Mm.
Just because they're teamed or they're fucking, they're together.
Everything in this world's manipulated.
It is, man. And,
except us. We're not being regulated.
We're not fucking smart enough to fucking.
Nobody cares.
We don't have an agenda yet, Fucking. Some of the shit we talk about, I don't want to talk about, but we're putting it out there. It would be the truth. We just decided to do this shit as like me and Weller. Anytime I call this guy, we talk for a half hour, 40 minutes, and then we're like, fuck, we just wasted a bunch of show time,
No, I don't think we wasted it anyways. I always say that, but I think both of us are so opinionated or feel like we know everything. My wife calls me know-it-all.
Yeah.
That I think we can never run out of material.
Well, I always tease my dad and my uncle because we consistently argue about everything. Like I remember my uncle, he's fucking super smart. Like we were super smart, man. An engineer, fucking, just crazy smart. And he said, I can prove to you that 2 + 2 is not 4.
Is Jimmy smart or past that?
Dude, past Jimmy. Dude, this guy's like fucking, I'm thinking of the little green Martian on the Flintstones.
Oh, wow.
Remember that dude?
No, but it sounds pretty smart.
Dude, that dude was super smart. But I forget his name. Fucking Gazoo.
Okay.
Gazoo was his name on the Flintstones.
I didn't really watch Flintstones that much. I was into Three's Company.
I watched cartoon. You still watch Three's Company?
I still watch Andy Griffith, Three's Company, Roseanne.
Yeah. Hey, the new Roseanne's coming out too.
27 to 26. One of those two.
Yeah, but so back to that Facebook shit, man. So now Mark Zuckerberg, he just came out. I don't know if you heard it, but he came out and he's talking about maybe they do need to be regulated. Because what's happening is whenever you search something up, and I'm sure all the people that are in the know are in the know, but you search something up, I don't care. Let's say like how many people has accused Bill Clinton of rape, right? Mm-hmm. Then you'll get fucking 4 or 5 search engines, Washington Post, New York Examiner, BBC. They go to, because you use search engines all the time, man. Yeah. Well, what the search engines are based on is how you've answered shit or the sites you've been to before. It builds your profile.
Right.
And then Google puts their political lean on it. And that's what comes up. Because if I wanted to find out something bad about Bill Clinton, the first 3 or 4 would be like, he wasn't guilty. These women are crazy, that kind of shit. But you get down to the 4th or 5th one, and it tells you, oh yeah, he paid Pamela Flowers $850,000, and the case was dropped. He paid Catherine Wiley $150,000, and the case was dropped.
He was a pimp.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that's the difference between him and Trump. Like I know Trump's, dude, he's blown hell of people, dude. He's got this porn star. But
presidents have been doing that forever.
Dude,
since the beginning of presidency.
Yeah, Kennedy, Roosevelt, fucking Woodrow Wilson.
I don't have. I should say I don't have a problem with it, but that doesn't. I don't even really pay attention to this whole. No, that's not a scandal to me.
To me too. They're just, to me, the presidents are just figureheads. I don't care what. They're just figureheads to me. That's all it is to me. But the fact that you have this media conglomerate, this giant that's way bigger than when we grew up. We had ABC, NBC, CBS.
Mm-hmm.
That was on VHF channels. Then we had like channel 40, channel 36,
31.
31 was as we got older. Yeah. But that was even after they got rid of the
58.
UHF, because they used to have two dials on your TV, a top and a bottom. One was, but
my first little TV I had in my room was black and white.
Fuck yeah,
little one. Yeah, it was black and white.
Dude, I remember clear as day watching Puff the Magic Dragon on my little fucking TV, dude, and it was like so special. Like there was a cartoon at night. There was a cartoon on at nighttime. You know, it was like a special or something.
I think the Harrisons was the first people I ever seen with the VCR. Dude. That was the first time I ever seen a VCR. No lie.
You know, I got a story on the VCR. So me and Jay, you know, and we used to think like, fuck, we got to rewind this porno back to 782, like that exact spot, because that's where they stopped watching it. Like, fuck, they're gonna know exactly where that point was in the porno, you know. You know how this thing, dude.
Yeah.
But think about it now. Like, I don't give a fuck. That's probably after they're 4 or 5 minutes after they're done, they went over and pressed stop. You know.
No one's paying attention.
But our mind was blowing up, dude. Yeah. But so now with the Facebook, Google, and that kind of shit, dude, I've been trying to search or look for something that's not associated with them, so I can get my own lean. Because you, like I was saying, when we had the little channels, you had 4 or 5 channels. They all kind of had the same basic story, and they still do today. But it had more of a truth to it. There wasn't like a political lean to everything. And it seems like no matter what I look at now, even when I want to try to get away from politics, there's fucking politics shit on there. You know what I mean?
Even on regular TV shows.
Yes.
I mean, whether it's one way or another, it's always leaning one way. I mean, they're kind of, especially talk shows at night, late night talk shows, you know, it's all pretty much bashing the president. But
well, there's another good example. You remember Carson, right? Johnny Carson?
Vaguely. Like, I was David Letterman guy.
Oh, yeah, but Letterman was after Carson.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, I didn't really watch late night till Letterman.
I like Letterman too, and he didn't get political until like the fucking 2000s, man. You know, like it's
to the end, yeah.
Yeah, towards the end. But I used to watch late night TV shows. I remember that it was Letterman, Heart to Heart, Simon and Simon. That's the way it went, right?
Where's Magnum PI in that?
I don't think it was on. No? That might have been on Johnny Carson shit, but those guys would blow up both sides, you know, and that. You don't have that. You don't have anybody blowing up the Democrats or the left. But Carson would do that shit. He would blow up each side. So there's easy picking fruit on both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what's fucking boring as hell, and it was cool at first, even on Saturday Night Live. I like, you know, I'm a Saturday Night Live alumni. I mean, I've been watching that shit 40 years, man. I think I've seen every fucking episode.
Really?
And I love it when they fucking do that little shit. Like they would have they had certain different guys play Clinton. They had different guys play Bush. They had different guys play Hillary. And now they got Baldwin doing Trump. But
I mean, but regardless if you like it or not, Baldwin does a good Trump.
He's all right. I like the other guy.
He does a good Trump. Oh, the guy on that other show.
No. He's on Saturday Night Live, and he does Bill Clinton, but he does Trump good too. I mean, his fucking accents, he's so fucking good. Oh man, I wish I could pop his name in my head. But
I always like George Bush, the way they did George Bush.
Dana Carvey.
I like George, the way they make fun of George Bush.
Oh, you're doing Bush Jr.
Bush Jr. Yeah, that was funny because he was a good character to make up.
But my point on that shit is, man, when the punchline's always Trump every night, the punchline's Trump. It's not funny. It's like a pile on, you know. It's just not funny to me like it was.
I don't know. I've never been really into Saturday Night Live that much. I always liked to live in color.
Because you got fucking bands. You got new bands that come out all the time.
I don't think you can do in living color anymore. Remember they had the retard guy? They had Men in Tights or whatever. They had all that stuff that would offend everybody right now. I don't think you could do in living color anymore. Well,
you can if you have black folks doing it, you know.
Well, they had Jim Carrey doing it too.
Yeah.
But I guess if you do it where it's not in a hateful way. I guess you could probably do it now.
No, because there's a place for that in comedy, man. Where you what is it? I heard it's in Jim Morrison thing I read. A joke, but when he tells a joke, sometimes people get upset. You know, it's like just a reverse of things, man. Because the truth is funny most of the times. You tell the truth about something, it's funny.
Yeah, the truth is, but you have to throw a little exaggeration and a little humor.
But you tell a joke, it's sometimes awkward. And depending on the company you're in, you know, like we were talking about those 3 magic words, like saying midget, faggot, nigger. Those are 3 magic words you don't fucking say anymore, right? It depends on what group you're in. So you wouldn't tell a racially motivated joke in front of a group of Hispanics if it's the punchline's a Hispanic guy. It
depends. If there's no malice in it and you feel comfortable with it, because I'm around Mexicans all day and I tell Mexican jokes all the time. And if
so you're racist.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something, dude. You know what's funny is everybody points out, and this is so true. This is just okay. This is my opinion, and this is me living in my world. Everybody always talks about black and white, dude. Mexican people are the most racist people there is, more than anybody, because Mexican people don't like white people and they don't like black people.
Yeah,
they don't like nobody. Real Mexicans from Mexico. Yeah. I mean, because that's who I work with. I work 99% of people I work with that come straight from Mexico.
Yeah.
And they don't like nobody. They don't like whites or blacks. We always talk about white and black, but Mexican people from Mexico don't like. They're the most racist people there is.
Yeah,
that's funny, but whatever.
No, it's pretty much like that in other cultures too, man. You got
Asians probably
not American Indians, but you have.
I'm not around Asians.
I kick it in Hindu Indians' houses, you know, like Punjabi Indian houses, and they're the same way, man. They got their own jokes. They tell about fucking whites or blacks. It's just, I mean, because they hate both.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I guess you could do it if it's not out of malice.
I don't know. I guess comedy to me, like you could tell me a honky joke or a crack your joke or something like that. Or you used to be Polish. Remember, you're a Polak.
Well, Chris Rock's good at it. He'll tell black jokes about black people, and he'll tell white jokes about white people. He does both. Yeah. I've seen his shows, and then you know he does good. But I don't.
And that's Chappelle too. Chappelle would get off like that.
He does. He does both. Yeah.
He blew it up, but Chappelle is the last one he did, and even a couple before that. Like I liked him on his show.
Oh, the Chappelle Show?
Yeah, I like the Chappelle Show.
That changed who he was. That made him to another level as the Chappelle Show.
Yeah, but
because a lot of comedians, well, I say a lot, but there's comedians that I listen to the Breakfast Club. They don't think he's funny.
Yeah,
they think the Chappelle Show is hilarious, and then there's a lot of comedians too that don't think Kevin Hart's funny either.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, one of the funniest and most genius things there was when he did the KKK guy, right?
He was blind,
and he's the blind black man, yeah.
And then he ended up leaving his wife.
Yeah, because she was
married to him. Like, yeah. That was hilarious,
dude. That is genius thinking. Man, he did freaking awesome on that shit, dude.
You know, I've been really on lately is Bill Burr.
Burr, yeah, he's funny.
He's funny. Yeah, he's the new guy.
He does the Irish. He does the Irish shit to the boat.
And why I like Bill Burr a little bit too is because he makes fun of Trump and then he doesn't make fun of Trump and he makes fun of the.
That's what he said. Negative publicity is still publicity.
Damn.
So even though they're talking bad shit about him,
he's genius when it comes to that publicity.
Yeah,
because I got to give him that. I don't like him.
Even though they're talking shit about him, he's still in.
I think he loves it. That's why he tweets. I don't think he cares his name. I think he wants to be in the news. Is the most important.
You know, okay. Let's say he was going to sell 20% of our uranium to Russia, right? All Trump would have to do to get this job done is send out a tweet, and have people like, "Oh fuck, look at this tweet," and then here right behind their back, there goes that 20% of uranium to Russia.
That's what goes on in politics.
That's what he does, though. That's his deflection.
We were talking about like the bills that come across. That's what they do. We're going to give you this, but we still want to do this in the back door.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to give you this tax plan, but we still want the wall.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it goes both ways.
Dude, you see, they gave $65 million to Jordan, Iran, all those countries over there for their walls. That's in the omnibus bill. They give them $65 million for the U.S. to their walls, $200 million towards Russian democracy, 200 million. Putin just won that election. I mean, just a couple days ago, right?
I would say he won it. He took it.
Dude, the other guy he was running against was in jail.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. You know,
It's funny as hell.
yeah.
Well, fuck it. I think we're right about there, man.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Hour 5. We're good. But next week coming up.
Special episode next week.
Easter. We're gonna do alien sightings, and we'll do some religion, huh? We'll do both.
It's
It'll
Easter Sunday, man. Yeah, so we'll do some religion and we'll have a little different setup next week, but we're gonna
bring in some guests next week.
Yeah, well, I guess our first guest appearances, and then what we'll do is because this is an event that happened about 14, 15 years ago, and it's going to see it through 4 different people's eyes because we were all there.
Okay.
And then
I'm excited to hear about it.
What I'm going to do is we'll come up with some questions that you can ask them, right?
Okay.
And then they can kind of lead on their story. And I'll excuse myself. I'll be out so that there's no coercion going on or whatever. And then we'll just trade kids in like that.
Okay.
I'm coming in and out. And then at the end, I'll wrap it up with you with my version and set it off, dude.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So we can call this one an ep?
That's it, dude. Where we at? Yeah, 103, we're good.
This was a good episode this week, huh?
Dude, fluent. Going easy. Seems to be getting easier every week. We do got a bunch of stickers.
And the shirts are coming in. When the shirts coming in first?
Tomorrow. Shirts come in tomorrow.
So how are we going to do that? You want to hit us up on Facebook? Hit us up on the YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Hit us up. Just let us know.
We got Fellas Facebook. You could private message us your because this is going to cost us money to get this shit out to you. Unless we know you, we can just kick it down to you. But if you leave us your address on the Facebook thing, we'll make sure we'll mail you this. Or if you want a sticker, a T-shirt.
With $20 shirts, right?
They're $20 shirts, and we're not making money off of that. Fucking the shirts are like $16.
Yeah, we're just doing the content's free. All this stuff we're doing right now is free.
Yeah.
We're just basically
cut you off camera about that shit. But I mean, there's a lot of fucking shit that goes behind trying just to even sell a sticker, dude. That's why I think it's easier just to give them away.
Yeah, there you go.
Because it's. I mean, if some hardcore horror
well,
lawyer,
let's not get into that.
Whatever, it's still a good time to bring your family together and tell them you love them. You know.
Hey, and get together with your wife on Sunday evening and turn this show on. You guys watch it, and it'll be your new Sunday evening show.
Let's do it.
All right, out.
Hour and 5 minutes, dude.
We're right on target, dude.